From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for July 15th, 2016. Today I'm going to be taking a look at several different currency pairs as we anticipate some news out of Canada and the US at 8:30 a.m. Eastern US time. That's about 35 minutes from the recording of this video. We'll definitely want to watch that news and see what direction the market takes after that news happens. It could be a point of reversal or continuation of some of the trends that we have been following. Let's get started here on the NZDUSD, New Zealand dollar, US dollar. We have been in this trade for a couple of days going short on the New Zealand dollar. You can see the trade going at the very bottom of the chart. It took a short at 7,300, currently sitting about 140 pips. We've left a minimal size left on the trade. We've been closing profit the entire way down, but definitely a pretty decent trade for the week this week on the New Zealand dollar. Let's zoom it in here on the daily time frame. Of course, we have been in a long-term uptrend, but we have recently been finding a resistance high up here at 7,300, the pink shaded area at the very top of the chart. We've fallen off of that and now made a new low over the past couple of days. Let's zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily. What I mean by the new low is it broke through the green shaded area where 1, 2, 3, 4 days it found support, pushed through there, and now has continued down to the blue zone. In the similar situation that we saw the breakdown of the green zone, we're now waiting to see if the market will break through the blue zone. That's right around the 71.5560 level is the blue shaded area. So a break of 55 or so, we would look for it to head on back down towards the 7100 level, which is the yellow shaded area. And clearly, that's our next support, as you can see back here on the left-hand side. So we're looking for 7125, 7100 as our next potential target, especially if you're still in the sells. If you're not in the sell, I think you probably want to look for the breakdown of the blue shaded area or another rally back up to the green zone. Now, on the other side of that, if you're looking for a buy scenario, let's say we get some negative news out of the U.S. today on the news that happens at 8:30. If it's negative for the U.S., it's likely we look for a reversal from the 71.55 level back above the blue zone, 71.80. We could target back to the green zone. So if you're in the sell, protect profit like I am. I've moved my stop loss now inside the green shaded area to protect profit from the pink zone where we sold it. About half of the profit is protected with the stop loss. If it goes up, so be it. I'll close the trade out at the green zone. But if you're looking for a new opportunity, reversal from the blue zone, look to target the green zone or the pink zone. Continuation of this downward fall with good news out of the U.S., we'll look for it to head on back down towards the yellow shaded area for the New Zealand dollar today. Over here on the Australian dollar, it's been capped out at resistance here right around the 76.50 level. So I've been having a very difficult time suggesting a buy here for this currency pair. Even though it's going up, I don't really want to buy it at the cap resistance high. Take a look at the black box over there where the market found resistance all along there. So don't buy it right now into that resistance. The only real opportunity to buy the Australian dollar on some negative news out of the U.S. specifically would cause it to break above the 76.85 or so level, the green zone. Then you might look for targets into the mid to upper 7700s. But right now, difficult place to buy it. If you're going to buy it, it needs to break the green zone or dip back to the pink zone to give you lower risk and higher reward. On the other side, we're watching for clues and evidence of reversal for a potential selling opportunity. If we get some positive news out of the U.S. today, we might look for the fall off of the green zone 76.50 and for it to head back down into the 75.90s, the pink shaded area down here. So positive news may become a selling opportunity to take it back down to the pink shaded area for the Australian dollar. Over here on the US yen, of course, we're into resistance. Let's just go ahead and remember the downtrend line here. I don't want you to forget about that downtrend line here. Zoom it in here on the US yen. You can see following into resistance 105.90, 106.25 is that purple shaded area. Look back here, resistance here. We're into resistance here. So terrible place to buy it right now on the US yen. Zoom it down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, we already know that that's resistance there, 105.90 or so, just around the 106 level. So terrible place to buy it right now, especially if we get some poor news out of the US today. We might look for resistance and reversal back down towards the blue shaded area on a pullback down towards 105. Positive news out of the U.S., we would look for the breakout, open and close above the purple zone 106.25 might give us a clue that we're looking for the continuation of the uptrend for the US yen. Over here on the US CAD, this is something we've been watching over the past few days. Somewhat of a rising triangle pattern here. Along the blue line is support, black line is resistance after the previous downtrend. We've also been watching oil prices underneath resistance over the past couple of days. So if oil continues to find resistance and falls off, we might expect the US CAD to go back up. We took a trade yesterday from the orange shaded area, saw over 20 pips of profit on the bounce, locked in break even. The market came back down towards the orange shaded area. Now the second, third, fourth time it comes down here, I think it becomes higher risk because the buyers might get exhausted on the dips down into the orange zone, but definitely still an opportunity for support here. Now keep in mind, we have Canadian and US news coming up at 8:30 Eastern US time, about 30 minutes from the recording of this video. Could be very volatile, so pay attention to that news. If you're in it, hopefully you're using appropriate risk strategies for your account, and of course use appropriate stop losses in case it breaks down through this orange shaded area. You don't want to stay in it very long. Underneath 1.2840, you probably don't want to stay in it too long because it's likely going to continue to go down. Staying above here, and any good news out of the U.S. If we get strong good news out of the U.S. or even negative news out of Canada, we might look for that bounce off the orange zone and turn higher. Now, I've already gone ahead and gotten back into it at 28.70. I'm using appropriate risk strategies in all cases, so keep that in mind. I'm still looking for that support at the orange zone for it to turn back higher, but I know that if it breaks the orange zone, I'll want to get out of it pretty quickly and look for a new opportunity, especially if we get strong positive data out of Canada, strong negative news out of the U.S. on CPI and retail sales. That would cause it to break that orange zone and go lower. We also would watch for oil prices on the rise, would also send this back down through that orange zone. So we're looking for the support to hold, but if it doesn't, we want to get out of it and look for a new opportunity for the US CAD. Over here on the GBP USD, we're into resistance. Not really a great place to buy it unless it breaks 34.80. Unless it gets through 1.3480, there is no way I'm buying this. We're underneath resistance. You can even see that resistance back here in the black box. So if you're looking for anything, you might be looking for a reversal for this to turn back down for the GBP USD. Euro dollar, we've been looking for an opportunity to go short here on this pair. It just hasn't given us a really good solid opportunity over the past few days. I did have a pending sell order at 1.1170 yesterday, never got taken in. The market went down without me. So I'm still waiting for a new opportunity here on the euro dollar. I do think it's interesting along this level right here. Let's just put this blue trend line here. If we can get underneath there, we might look for it to go lower. Take a look. Just cap the top highs with the trend line as well, and you can see lower highs, rising lows, a little bit of a triangle pattern. A breakdown of that looks for it to go lower. A break above it might look for some upside for the euro dollar. On the other side of the franc, we are looking at support. We've been looking for an opportunity to go long. Missed it yesterday. It didn't get low enough to take in our pending buy order, but now waiting for the next clear opportunity here for the US franc. Let's zoom it in a couple of times. And again, the orange shaded area, 97.90, is your current support. If it finds support there, we'll look for the rally back in towards the upper 9800s, the 98.60 to 80 levels, the purple shaded area. So that purple zone is still our next resistance. We've been toying around and waffling this orange shaded area. Let me zoom it in one more time. Take a look at that orange shaded area. The past 2 days, been waffling on the other side of it. I did have yesterday the pending buy order down here at the yellow zone. It just missed taking us into that buy order. So at least at this point, I think we need a breakout above or below that orange shaded area. That's 97.90, 98.10. Whatever the news does today, if we get positive news for the U.S., we'll look for the break above 98.10 and a turn back towards the purple shaded area at the top of the chart. Negative news, we might look for the dip below 97.90 and head back down towards the yellow zone. So watching our news today to give us a real good sense of direction on all of these U.S. pairs for the day today.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.